Today we're back in the Mondeo ST200 and I just want to say thank you so much for the support that you guys have given this car since it's been on the channel. It's been really cool to see how passionate you guys are about a car that's as mundane as this. And don't worry, the next episode with the Mondeo, it will be getting restored, so stay tuned. You join us at Dyno Development, and as you can tell by the name, we've got ourselves a dyno. As I've mentioned on previous videos, this is called the ST200 because it's supposed to create 200 horsepower. Ford said from the factory it was 202 brake horsepower to be exact. But that was 20 years ago. So I'm curious, how much power has this car lost in that time? Now, I've never been wanting from power from this car. I use it as a daily and its performance is perfectly good, but I reckon it's missing a few ponies. So let's get it on the dyno and let's get a number. So how much horsepower is this thing going to create? I've got a number in my head of 168 brake horsepower. Don't know why, it just seems like a nice number. And 30 horsepower loss over 20 years seems okay. But I want you guys to have a number in your head. Pick a number that you think this car is going to create, and then once we find out, comment down below to tell me if you were right. Let's go, power run. So 156 horsepower and 200 newton meters of torque. That's just on the first run. So hopefully it's a naturally aspirated engine. It'll warm up a bit and that number will increase. Oh. So that's a bit better, 163 horsepower. I think I might be bang on. Have that same increase again and we should be around 168. So if we can get above 170, I will be absolutely buzzing. But probably got another 2 runs left. Let's see what happens. Still sounds good. Oh. 116.56 on the nose. So 31, 32 horsepower, 31.5 horsepower loss in 20 years. I'll definitely take that. Good guess. We'll go one more. Let's go for that 170. Keep going. So close. We need 0.7 horsepower to get 170. 0.7. So the Mondeo creates 169 horsepower, which means over its 20 years, it has lost 31 horsepower. I don't think that's that bad, although we'll need to change the badge on the back to an ST169. How can an engine lose that amount of power? Well, it could just be a dirty air filter, there could be a restriction in the exhaust, you could have a gummed up fuel pump or fuel injectors, you could have dodgy spark plugs, it could just be carbon buildup in the engine, there could be general wear and tear to parts like piston rings or cam lobes, or it could simply be dirty oil. So although we're fully restoring this car, I think that power loss isn't too catastrophic and we won't need to strip it down or anything. So a decent service and it should be all good. So we couldn't have a dyno for the day and not bring something with some proper power. Imran, this is your M5 and it's not exactly stock, is it?
No, not anymore. So this is BMW F90 M5. The car came out in 2018. So since then, obviously, we've tuned it a little bit. So the car currently has a full exhaust system by Supersprint, Eventuri intakes, and it's running our ECU tune and gearbox tune.
Okay, and you have recorded this at over 200 miles an hour, haven't you?
Yeah, so we go to VMAX events quite a lot, and that's a standing 1.1 mile now, 1.2. We measured 205 miles an hour on the GPS. Wow. So it was about 206 miles an hour on the clock, so it's pretty fast.
Okay, and our Mondeo created 169. What are you expecting from this, roughly?
So on my dyno, it has made 750.
750?
Yeah.
And what's stock for this?
So stock BMW quote around 5 60, but this did make a little bit more than stock when we dynoed it.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's see. Before we put the M5 on the dyno, we've plugged in the Carly adapter and we've got the Carly app up. So as we discussed in our last video, you can use it to diagnose a car and give it essentially a health check to make sure everything's healthy for even just a drive or something performance orientated like putting it on a dyno. But if you have a BMW, there are other things you can do within the app. You can customize certain things. So you can customize your head-up display, some of the infotainment, the security of the car to make sure it's locked, your seat memories, a whole host of things. In this specific BMW, you can convert an analog speedometer to a digital one. So basically anything electrical in the car, you can muck about with and customize via this app. But we've given it the health check, everything's all good. Let's get it on the rolling road. So the Mondeo was 31 horsepower down on its factory figure. Imran, what about your result?
So we're used to this car making 750 horsepower on our dyno. Today it's only made 659, which goes to show you the differences between different dynos and setups. That figure hasn't upset me too much because we've been to Santa Pod and done a 10.4 quarter mile. I've been to VMAX and it's like one of the fastest F90 M5s there. So the dyno figure is what it is, but it's not upsetting because I know how fast the car is.
Well, it's been an eye-opening day for me showing what time can do to an engine. And Imran, thanks for bringing the M5.
No problem.
After seeing Imran's BMW on the dyno, it has got my juices flowing for something a bit more powerful. So if you guys were to pick a more powerful project car for the DriveTribe YouTube channel, what would it be? Tell us in the comments below. Anyway, time to get this thing restored.